How you doing? This is Cochise and Droski.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's going on? We are here in Mental Music. Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, today we have a very special guest. Avett is in the house.
Top of the afternoon to you guys.
Yeah, all right.
And
we're just gonna get into a little bit about the weekend. Mike, anything interesting happened to you over the weekend?
Man, wow. It was a tornado warning yesterday.
Yeah, it was a tornado warning.
Yeah.
Wait, did you get a chance? Were you?
Oh, yeah. I had actually taken a nap, and when I woke up, it was crazy outside. It was really crazy.
I was in it.
Yeah.
Walking around in it.
No.
Every time I got out the car, that's when it started.
Mm.
Yeah, I hit this lady's door like 5 times trying to get out the rain.
Should have stayed in the car.
Yeah, I think
you were doing too much.
Yeah, the wind took the door. I was trying to, so I closed it, the wind took it. So,
wow.
I know she was mad at me, but I was in the store. Too bad.
Well, I'm glad you walked away unscathed.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, how was your week?
It was good. It was really busy. I'm just glad that the weekend's here. That's pretty much all I can say.
Okay.
Amen to that.
All right. So, Avett is a singer. You just dropped the album, right?
I did.
Revelation?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, you're from Terrell, I believe, right?
I am from Terrell.
Home of Jamie Foxx.
Home of Jamie Foxx, who I hope to meet eventually. But, from Terrell, small town girl. Dad's a pastor, mom's a teacher, that sort of thing. Very traditional upbringing, which is great.
Did you? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you? I'm sure. Did you sing at church at all?
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Were you a soloist or were you in the choir?
You know what? It was a combination because my mom was also the minister of music at our church growing up. And so that's like a prereq of being a PK. You got to sing in the choir.
A PK.
So,
I've heard mixed things about PKs.
Yes. Well, don't believe everything you hear. It's, it's you have to take that on a case by case basis.
A case by
That's
case
all I got to
basis.
say.
Okay. We can go with that.
That's my official statement. But, so that was pretty much my upbringing for sure. A lot of singing in church and all great experiences, I have to say. I can't change where I come from, nor would I.
Okay.
If I could, because that's definitely what's made me the person and the singer that I am today. So, all good.
Okay. We're reading your. Go ahead.
Did you find growing up in church pretty strict? Because I grew up in church as well. And there were a lot of rules. Like, I wasn't allowed to listen to certain things.
Yes.
I wasn't allowed to go certain places.
It's true.
So, tell me about that.
Well, I don't think that it's necessarily because I grew up in church, because one of my good friends in high school, her parents weren't really big churchgoers, but they were very strict too. It just happened to be that I grew up in a pretty strict family. And, there were some restrictions, but, in hindsight, was it really that serious? Probably not. But at the time, it felt like, oh my gosh, my whole life is just on hold. But, but then I look at some of the things that are going on now, and I'm like, man, I'm so glad that my parents kind of kept me, on a short leash, because now, I just look at things with a different perspective, I think, than I would have had I not had that upbringing. So
okay.
I can relate to that. Yeah, I got stories.
Oh yeah, we all got stories. Yeah. I can give you some stories.
Oh yeah.
We actually read your bio, so we were. You said that you had to sneak away to listen to
yes,
to music.
I did. Oh my gosh.
And so we were just wondering, like, what kind of stuff did you listen to?
I went through different musical phases, and it's so weird because when I was when I was in like the 7th and 8th grade, I went through this rock ballad phase. So Bon Jovi, Firehouse, Nelson Twins, Damn Yankees, Extreme, I was just consumed with rock ballads. And then I kind of made the transition to Sade. So I was just consumed with her for the next year. So it was just these really pivotal years between probably junior high and the end of high school that I really just kind of, fed that eclectic part of myself. And believe me, there are some gospel artists that I absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of the Clark sisters. Kim Burrell is hands down the most amazing vocalist I've ever heard across the board. So, I just think as you grow older, you can kind of glean from those different genres, and it's not that serious. Oh my gosh, I have to listen to gospel music or I have to listen to jazz. My biggest thing lately has been James Brown. Probably for the last month, every day I'm listening to something with James Brown in it because he is just so darn funky. I love him.
Did you watch that movie Get On Up?
Yes, yes. We went to the drive-thru and saw that. It was awesome.
Oh,
it was awesome.
And the drive-thru in Fort Worth?
No, the one. I'm not sure. There's one in Fort Worth, and then there's another one that's like going the opposite direction. But anyway, best movie. It was a really good drive-in type movie.
Yeah,
okay.
I still haven't caught that. I've been meaning to.
Man, it's a good movie. That guy did it.
He did it.
He did it.
No,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, what? Don't gotta see it.
Yeah, I plan on it.
I'm gonna check it out.
Add that to your list.
Oh yeah.
Now you had your song in a small film this last year, right?
I did. Actually, it was at the beginning of this year. It was a short film by a director here in Dallas called Snoop Robinson. What's up, Snoop?
What's up, Snoop?
And really nice guy, really talented director. And the movie's called Her Eyes.
Her Eyes.
And it was so awesome because, the opening credits, my bass dropped when the opening credits started. So it was so awesome to go to that screening, and that's the first thing you hear was the bass from one of my songs. So
okay.
I was feeling it.
That Take It Slow?
Yeah.
Okay, we actually are going to get to go into that right now.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about it before we hear it?
Take It Slow is just a song of anticipation, and, it could be perceived to be of a sexual nature, but just being just anticipating that person that you love coming home from wherever. Work
wherever. It might have been a James Brown movie. Just
right.
Just coming home.
Right after the drive-thru.
yeah. Here it is. Take it slow.
This is Bethel Johnson, two-time Super Bowl champion, and you're listening to TMIRadio.com.
Hi, this is Avett, and you're listening to new music from my debut album, Revelations.
The meaning of love often eludes me.
I would describe my sound as the perfect blend of beat-up funk, some juke joint flavor, and rocked-out soul.
Do you ever dream what's beyond the clouds? Is there more to it than what we see?
I'm loving that people can relate to me through my music and that they appreciate it so eclectic. Avett Revelations is available for download on CD Baby, iTunes, and Amazon. Or you can go to kavett.com for a signed copy by yours truly. That's KAVETT.com.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's your boy Saint, and you're tuned in to TMI Radio, local, national, and global. Yeah.
Hey, you're back. This is Cochise, Mike Droski, and K Avett. How's everybody? We've been here chopping it up, talking about country, cowtown,
Oh, wow.
cattle stuff in here.
Yeah. This boy talking. Yeah.
That's what you get when you get somebody from Fort Worth and Terrell together.
It's true.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, don't hate City Boy.
Nah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it anyway.
So I got a question for you. Why did you decide to name your album Revelations?
Well, Revelations can have a lot of different connotations. I think some people that know me, when they heard it, they just assumed it was going to be a gospel CD.
Yeah.
And that's what you thought?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are some gospel elements to it, but Revelations to me is kind of not a coming of age, but just, it describes and puts to music the experiences that I've had in my life up to this point. It's a very personal album. And really just the things that I have learned or things that have been revealed to me about myself over the years.
Oh, okay. Interesting title. So you thought it might have something to do with your church background.
Yeah, no.
No, it just,
That just
full
happened.
of revelations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that book. It was pretty scary. I didn't know what to expect.
Listen, when you read it, it makes you want to get your life together.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah. So I mean, I'm glad that the album and the book were nothing like that. I actually like the album better than the book.
Well, I mean, I didn't write the album with any kind
Based on
of
the book.
apocalyptic, mindset, but for sure you should read Revelation.
Now, you said growing up you listened to all different types of music. You mentioned rock, and then you say Sade.
Yeah.
How, with all that background, I guess different influences, how did you pick your kind of genre, your style, your like neo soul kind of sound?
I really didn't. I didn't go into it saying I'm going to do a neo soul album. I listened to a bunch of different cuts, and if I liked it, I wrote to it. And then there were a couple of songs that I wrote and then put them to music, and we just kind of married those two together. But I've actually heard more than once that it's kind of hard to define my sound, because I'll have a song that starts out with some rock vibes, and then I'll go from there to kind of a house music type vibe, and then I've got something that's sort of like something that reminds you of Sugar Avery and Color Purple, and then so I actually like that. That works for me because when people hear it, it appeals to a wider audience. So.
Because you just kind of write to what you like, and however it goes.
Exactly. Wherever it goes, that's where it goes.
Okay.
So do you write all of your own songs, or do you have help? Or?
I do write all of my songs. And on this album, except for Heaven, which I co-wrote with a really talented producer and writer here in the area. His name is Kirby Harden. Let me shout out to him.
Kirby.
Shout out Kirby. We call him Dunny.
Dunny.
What up, Donnie?
Yeah, that's a But anyway, I co-wrote Heaven with him. But aside from that one song, all of the other songs I wrote.
In your writing process, is there like a process you go through, or is it just something that just kind of comes and you just start writing? Or
It depends. Sometimes, like for Can't Stand, which is track 1 on the album, I wrote that song in maybe 15 minutes. I just heard some music and those lyrics came to me and I wrote it. And then there are other songs that, I might write a verse and a chorus and then just kind of shelf it for a couple of weeks and then come back, or just kind of think about it for a little bit. And so I don't have any really set way of writing. I just know that I'm very particular about my writing, and so there has been a few songs where I've written them and then come back and I'm like, no, I don't like that verse at all. Let's just scratch that whole verse and we'll write something else.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can you tell me about Soul Sort's Best of 2014?
You know what? I was so thrilled to be on that list. And actually what's so crazy, my album dropped last year but it didn't really pick up a lot of steam until the very end of last year. So now you come into 2015 and it's just kind of taken off on its own. But that was such a surprise, and I was so thrilled to be on a list, with such recognized artists. That was just really thrilling for me. So shout out Soul Sorts.
Right on.
Now, did they find you, or did you have to submit?
They found me, and it's so crazy because once I made that list, so many other avenues just kind of opened up. I'm like, wow, y'all are in Australia and y'all have heard my music, which is so awesome. G'day. That whole thing. It was so cool. And, you hear these people with these strange accents in places that you've never physically been, literally thousands of miles from where you are, and they are playing your music and pushing your music and, saying how much they like it. And it's really humbling, and it makes me want to do the next thing.
Oh, okay.
So
it's kind of success begets more success.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. But it's really exciting. And, again, so many doors have opened just from that one thing. So I really have to say that Soul Sorts has been very instrumental in just getting my music out there.
Okay. Where is your music? What countries have you touched?
Oh my gosh, it's more like what countries haven't I touched? It is so
global.
It is amazing. I have gotten, people that have reached out to me from Japan, from Nigeria, from Italy, just all of these places that I plan to visit.
Okay.
And just really everywhere. I'm not even kidding. It's so overwhelming sometimes to realize that somebody literally on the other side of the world is listening to my music right now and hitting me up on Twitter and saying, man, I really like that song, or sending me a message and it's in another language. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. We have a little bit of a language barrier, but let me see if I can translate this. And that is so cool to me.
That's do you find any difference in the audiences around the world, like the U.S. versus Japan versus UK versus Australia?
I will say from my personal experience that the UK especially, they seem to have a greater love for soul, like real soul music.
Okay.
And that's awesome, because I definitely, in a lot of ways, I have an old school feel, and I love old school music, so I think some of that comes out. And they just seem to be a little bit more open to things that are not kind of like in that cookie cutter box. Not to say that there aren't people over here, because that's certainly not true. But I mean, as far as what you hear on the radio, when you hear the radio over here, it kind of most of the music kind of falls, for the most part, in the same vein. Okay. And so when you hear something that's different, it's the exception more often than the rule. So that's pretty much it. So I love that. And really, it's amazing to me that it's like in Japan, there is a really huge audience for R&B music over there, which is very interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's like a whole culture over there. They love anything that a lot of, especially like hip hop. There's a huge culture for that over there. And I was just really surprised, pleasantly so, to hear that.
Now, in Japan over there, they like the R&B. Is it recent R&B? Because I watch some old Japan pop. They call it J-pop or K-pop, and some of those videos look like 90s R&B videos. So is they recent R&B, or is it kind of more that New Jack Swing?
I definitely think they like the New Jack Swing, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on a Japanese version of Jodeci to just pop up, because there is a guy on YouTube that he does covers of just all of these just different R&B songs. He's done some Usher, and that's really the only one that I can think of right off the top of my head right now. But he is so talented, and it's crazy to me that when he starts singing, it's like the accent just kind of falls away. But then when he starts talking, it is insane. Yeah. So they are really, I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome that our culture has a way of just influencing the world. And I just wish that we could kind of, absorb that and use it more to our advantage.
I understand. Because like you're saying, in the UK, you say they're really open to that soul. Because I mean, I'm not familiar with that being over there, but I mean, I know the people that imports are like Josh Stone,
man,
Amy Winehouse. They all have that kind of that sound
and it is soulful, man. Yeah. It's something serious. There's a UK artist. Her name is Emily King, and she's been out for a while, but I'm feeling her. She is so dope, as they say in Funky Town. She is so cool, and I love that when you hear them talk. Another one is Jessie J.
Oh, Jessie J.
That
can
girl.
go.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And when she talks, it's like, we're not used to that accent, but when she starts singing, it's like, where in the world did that come from? So I think that's really cool.
Is Daly from over there?
You know what? I don't know, but he can go too.
Yeah.
he did a version of, I'm always just looking at different people, do performances and stuff on YouTube, and he did a cover of Climax by Usher, and it was nice. And you would never, he's just so unassuming. When you look at him, you just would not think that voice is going to come out.
The man is swagged up. He swagged 110%.
Oh, word?
Really?
Book man. Cover.
Oh, that dude, when I first saw him, I was like, well, that dude with the glasses,
yeah,
like a fro. I'm like, that guy's what's swag. Who are some of the people you like to listen to when you're not writing?
When I am not writing, like I said, I'm a huge James Brown fan. That's just feel good music to me.
Yeah.
I could listen to something with him pretty much every day. I love Jill Scott. Oh goodness, it's like asking somebody what color is the rainbow. It's so hard.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: is there anybody that you listen to that makes you just want to get up and write, like that just really inspires you?
Yes, Jill Scott for
Jill
sure.
Scott.
She's such a prolific lyricist, and I love how she can say something that has been said 10 times, but say it in such a way that it's so colorfully said, And I really aspire to always improve my writing. I mean, that's really what any writer wants. But she just brings that out of me. I just really love listening to her and just kind of really trying to dissect how did she put all this together? Because it's one thing to say it, but when you say it in a way that's like, dang, she said that. I love that.
Say it where you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell me, what's next for K Avett?
What is next for K Avett? Well, I'm always performing, and of course, if you are in the area, the Dallas area, and you are interested in catching a live show, you can always visit my website, which is kavett.com. That's KAVETT.com, and I always have my upcoming shows listed there, as well as any other information that you would like. If you want to purchase an album, if you want to contact, my team, any of that, you can find that on the website. Later on this year, I will be in Europe.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been invited to perform in Europe, and so I'm really excited to see some of these places that I have, read about, and meet some of the people that have reached out to me from over there, and just give them some of the same love they've given me up to this point. So That is pretty much what is on my short-term radar.
Okay. We're actually about to go to a song called "You and Me." And that's one of our favorite songs that we listen to. Yeah, like when Mike first heard it, he just started bobbing. Like, I kind of like. Can you tell us a little bit about "You and Me"?
"You and Me" is just about, just the art of compromise and coming together. We all know how difficult that can be sometimes, but man, if you can't make it work with a team of two, you just can't make it work. The team has got to be together. So that is pretty much what's going on with that song. I definitely felt a little bit of a Shaka Khan vibe when I wrote it, because she's definitely someone that I like a lot as well. And so, yes. But that is what "You and Me" is about. So.
Okay, well, here it is. You and Me.
You and Me. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Avett, and you're listening to new music from my debut album, Revelations.
Meaning of love often eludes me.
I would describe my sound as the perfect blend of beat-up funk, some juke joint flavor, and rocked-out soul.
Do you ever dream what's beyond the clouds? Is there more to it than what we see?
I'm loving that people can relate to me through my music and that they appreciate it so eclectic. Avett Revelations is available for download on CD Baby, iTunes, and Amazon. Or you can go to kavett.com for a signed copy by yours truly. That's KAVETT.com.
Yo, this your boy Aaron B. Southern, and you're now rocking with the best on TMIRadio.com.
Hey, welcome back. This is Cochise and Mike, and we've been talking to the lovely Kay Avett. So, I guess we asked you in the break, I guess, to sing a little bit, and she agreed. She agreed on break. I don't know if she's gonna agree now.
Look, y'all asked me to do. I'm gonna do a little bit.
Okay.
Do a little bit of something.
All right. Just want a little bit.
Okay. So this is just a portion of my song Show Me, and just a little background on this song. I wrote it after I read a book by this guy. He's a doctor. His name's Gary Chapman, and he wrote a book called The 5 Love Languages, and it just talks about how, you know, everybody, regardless of your background, regardless of how hard you are, how self-sufficient, you need love, and everybody has different ways that they express and like to receive love, whether it's words of affirmation, whether it's gifts of service, whether it's, you know, action.
Time.
I'm sorry.
Quality time.
Yeah. You know, touch, whatever your love language is. And so that is really the premise of the song, is that at the end of the day, I may know that you love me, but I need to be shown that you love me. So, kind of deep, but, you know, great book. If you have not read it, it is definitely a book that should be read. So, here's just a little bit of it. I feel like y'all put me on the spot. All right, here we go. The meaning of love often eludes me. Something I can find that's been left behind. In my mind, a struggle to figure out what's real. All that's coming through is I love you. But if what you say is true, all you gotta do, love me truly. Can you love me unconditional? Will you reveal your love to me? I wanna hear it, but I really need to feel your love.
Hey.
That's a little bit. Thank you.
Hey, she didn't need the producer to make her sound like that.
The studio ready, huh?
Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, has your parents heard the album?
My parents have heard the album. Yes.
And your mom being a music minister, how does she feel about it?
You know what? Number one, they are super duper proud that I, you know, took this leap of faith and just kind of jumped head first into it. And they have been so supportive, even though it's not gospel, the album is not gospel. They have been extremely, extremely supportive. So
from day one.
From day one. So I'm very, very excited and just thankful to have such a huge support system.
Okay, that's good. That's very, very good. What age did you decide to jump into it?
Well, I have been singing my whole life, I should say that. And over the years, I have performed with different bands, done lots of, you know, private events, and just in the last few years, I've always been asked by other people. You know, when are you going to put an album out? When are you going to put an album out? When are you going to put an album out? And I just kind of put it off and, well, I'll do it. And I think it was just one of those things, even though I'd wanted to do it for a while, it kind of all had to come together, and all the different puzzle pieces had to come together at the right time. I had to be at that right place in my life to actually have something to say, you know, and you can't really do that unless you've had those experiences, and those experiences took time. So,
makes sense.
Do you have any advice for some up and coming young ladies who are listening to your album and say, hey, I love this album, I want to do this one day because I love Avett? So what advice would you give?
More than anything, I would say stick to what works for you. I have found, what I've seen is sometimes you'll have someone, for example, who is they just exude jazz, for example. No one in particular, but you just exude jazz. But because pop seems to be popular, you kind of go with that because you think that's what people want. But I really think that people want authenticity more than anything, and you can really tell when someone is trying to be something that they're not. It would be like me trying to be a rapper or something. That's just not me, and that's okay. Right. You know, find what works for you and embrace that, and just go at it with gusto. That's what I would say.
Very wise, sound advice.
Thank you.
I think so. Yeah.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, pretty much, huh?
Man.
Yeah. I know.
That was such a good video. I was automatically
brought you back, didn't it?
Man, that was a great video.
Do you have any videos out of your music?
I do not. We are in the process of implementing that as we speak. So.
You looking forward to have like a lot of ideas in your head swirling around?
I do, and I kind of want just one good idea. Sometimes I can have, 1,000 ideas, and that can be good unless you have a hard time kind of corralling them and, streamlining them. So, but when all else fails, I will just consult the experts. So.
Okay. Was that ever a problem growing up? You being a creative type, probably have a lot of different ideas coming in and like staying focused. Was that ever an issue growing up, or you just had the discipline to do it? Not
staying focused. I would definitely say I've always kind of gone my own way, and I am one of 4 siblings. And I've just kind of always, if everybody else was going left, I was probably going right. Not so much because it was a conscious decision, but I've just always kind of done my own thing.
Trailblazer.
Rebel.
Well, when you're growing up, your parents don't think you're being a trailblazer. They just think you're being difficult. But, so for a while, tried to kind of pull that back. But I think that's just one of the things that makes me, and even when it comes to my music, not feeling like I have to sound like somebody else. And I've had people compare me to other people, and it's always been a compliment because there are so many amazing artists out there that I aspire to be like. Yeah. But even in being like them, I want to always be myself. So.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, because like we heard your album. We said you kind of captured a little bit of the Jill Scott, a little bit.
Which is a huge compliment.
Vibe. I think I heard a little bit of Badu on some tracks. A little bit.
Oh yeah.
So we see you.
Which is a huge compliment. I love both of those ladies. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So question: what's your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song on the album is "Can't Stand." It is the first cut on the album. It's the first song that I wrote for the album, and it's a very personal song. I mean, the entire album is very personal, but that song in particular was very personal to me. And it just, when I heard the scaled down mix of the song, the track for the song, those lyrics just came, and I wrote it, and that's definitely my favorite song.
Words just flowed out the pen, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. I bet everybody wish they had that skill.
Well, it just happened on that one. It just happened on that one. So.
All right. So, is there anything you want our listeners to know about you personally?
Other than feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I really, it's so weird to say I have the best fans because, it's so weird.
You have a wide variety.
Yes,
of fans,
and I love that. I love that I have a very eclectic friends. No, fans. I'm sorry. I have a very eclectic group of fans, and that's really cool. Yeah. And for sure, reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to me on Facebook. I don't personally man my Twitter page, but I'm on Facebook all the time, Facebook and Instagram. And you can keep up with any upcoming events that I have on my website. Again, that's Avett.com. That's KAVETT.com. Shoot me a message. I'd love to hear from you.
Okay. So you said at Avett.com. That's KAVETT. Make sure you get that. It's KAVETT.
Yes. No spaces, no dots, no nothing. Just KAVETT.com.
Okay. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with Avett. So, we'll see. Hey, what's going on? We're back with the Cochise, and in the studio we got Mike Droski.
Hey, what's up?
And we have a guest. Lady T walked in from Say Something with Lady T.
Hey. What's going? Hey. What's going on?
And we got
and we have Avett.
Still here,
and her husband Kevin, who actually is her manager.
Hey.
What's going on? Is there any kind of it's causing any kind of what kind of gets special? Are there any kind of special issues that come with that kind of relationship, a husband and a manager?
If anything, I would say, like most things, just maintaining a balance and sometimes being able to turn work off. That's pretty much it. But I mean, I think that could be an issue really in any situation. If you bring your work home from the office, then you just do.
Don't end up getting out work home momager or any kind of way you have a work and family.
Yeah, we definitely have to maintain a balance, and that can be a challenge at times, but it just is what it is. We make it work.
Okay. What were the benefits of it, I guess, on the opposite side of that?
You know what? Definitely having someone who runs interference and just always has my best interest at heart. That is definitely the greatest thing ever. And for us to be not only business partners, we are life partners. So, we're vested into this so many different ways. So it's definitely a good thing.
A very, very beautiful thing.
Cool.
Where do you go?
So I have a question for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Question: are there any other artists that you would like to collab with in the future?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I would love to collaborate with Prince and Mint Condition.
Mint Condition.
Yes, that dude is the truth. That is a band's band. I love how they are just awesome.
I don't think you can actually appreciate them until you see them live.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've never seen them live.
What?
I know. Listen, it's horrible. It's horrible.
An opportunity. It was great.
They are such an amazing band. They really are. And they just sound so cohesive, and I'm sure a lot of that just comes from years from just being together, but man, they are the truth.
Yeah. Yes.
And I love how, even though, I mean, they're mainstream, but they're kind of like, to me, kind of like in between underground and mainstream, but they have diehard fans who, myself being one of them, who has followed them for years, and they never disappoint ever.
Okay, would you mind having a career like that with a few mainstream hits, but mostly having a loyal following?
You know what? I really wouldn't. I want to definitely do this for for the next 40 years. I would love that, but I still want to be able to go to Walmart when I want, and so there are there are some aspects of my personality that I don't think necessarily would go very well with being like a huge like Michael Jackson level type celebrity. Because I just, to a certain degree, I don't really like people in my business like that. I'm like, okay, I know you, but I don't know you. That sort of thing.
Right.
So I like to have my downtime. And so definitely kind of falling in that vein where people know and love my music and support my music. That's really all that I'm really aspiring to.
Okay. That's a good aspiration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, where do you see yourself in? You said 4 years. I'm gonna say 5. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh my!
Interview question.
Oh my goodness! In 5 years,
It's a job interview.
I know it's so hard.
Yo.
And that's a
loaded
question.
When you finish that, I need what's your weakness?
And when was the time that you had a conflict, and how did you solve that problem? Right. So, you know what? Definitely with at least a couple more projects under my belt. Definitely at least 2 or 3 major tours under my belt. That's important to me, just to ramp up my live performances, because for one thing, I know that it's one thing to hear the album, but there's just something about live music that really speaks to people, and it gives the audience and your fans a chance to really connect with you, and that's important. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of that.
So I'm guessing you like performing.
I do. I do.
Like what kind of like take us to like how you feel like walking out on stage, like, you know, like before, like that feeling you get, like with the band playing your music.
Yeah, I've got kind of a quirky personality, so I like to talk to the audience a lot. And when I go, right before I go out, I don't feel nervous. I just feel kind of tingly. That's really the only word I can use to describe it. And it's that anticipation of doing something that you just absolutely love. And look, I've been singing since I could talk. So me and my Mike, I call him Mike. Me and Mike we've been going for a long time. That's really the only other guy in my life other than my husband is my microphone. Uh-huh. And so
Mr. Mike Rowe.
So that is the best feeling, honestly, to be out there and to see that people are singing along. That is awesome. When you're singing and somebody's singing along to your music, it's like, what? You had my song on repeat. Look at you. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool.
That's very, 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 very cool.
Yeah.
Is it like a second home on stage?
Yes.
It's definitely like
yes,
that?
It is. Yes, it is.
Probably from all the years back in the church, singing on stage, or.
Well, you know what? It's a lot different, honestly, because when we were growing up, we were admonished very, very thoroughly that this is time for you to worship. This is not a performance. Mm-hmm. So even as I've grown older, I definitely see a difference even now, like when I go home, if I'm going to get up and sing, and I do, you know, I'm going to a service this Sunday, as a matter of fact, to my parents' house, and I'm sure they're going to ask us to sing. And it's just a different, like I feel a little bit more subdued just because that's how I was raised to do it. And I should say, growing up, our family actually had a singing group called the Kirby Hardin Singers. So we, you know, and we did the whole old school thing where you sing with one mic and you should listen. So even just having my own mic, it's like, this is my mic. But growing up, it was you sing your part, you pass the mic down the line. It's not you moving around and doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
Was it the whole family in the group? All like 4 siblings and the 2 parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it was like a super group.
It was a super group.
Now, can all your other brother siblings sing?
Yes, they can. My brother is more of a producer. Not so much a singer, but he is an awesome producer. And as a matter of fact, he produced, that's the Dunny I was talking about earlier. Yes, my bad.
You should have said it was your brother.
My bad, yes.
She talked about it like it was somebody that she didn't met. She was like, somebody named Dunny.
I was trying to give his birth certificate name in case somebody wanted to look him up to give him support. Look, Kirby Hardin, that's what his name is. But yeah, he is an amazing producer. And then I have 2 sisters, Lamisa and Kim, and they are both amazing vocalists.
They give you any kind of help or input on the album?
My sister Kim did some background vocals for me. Yes.
Okay. Nice. Family thing.
So yeah, and my mom can go too.
I hope so. Being a minister of music.
Yeah, she can go.
Somebody taught y'all, apparently.
Is your dad musical at all, or is he?
He sings and he plays.
Okay, because I know some dads they just there.
Yeah,
like
no.
When music comes, they just like
No,
they'll clap or something.
He plays and he sings.
Question. So, being in a musical family, what's one of the lessons that you have learned? The most important lesson that you've learned just growing up around music, around family that sings and performs?
I think one thing that has stuck with me is singing in a group. Singing in a group keeps you from developing diva-like tendencies. I'm really, really laid back because if you can sing lead, you can sing background. And so I think that helps with my personality. Like when I'm just dealing with, musicians and stuff, I'm generally really easygoing. And, that helps. Yeah. That helps the process when you're not difficult.
Do you run across the egos dealing with other artists, other instrumentalists?
I really haven't. I think whatever you put out, that's usually what you tend to get. And I play a little bit, but that's not really my strong suit. So I kind of defer to you in your area of strength. And I think people appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So.
All right. You didn't have any kind of issue with your sister doing background? You weren't like, listen, Lamisha, get it straight.
No.
This is just like we had it back in this.
No.
This is why the band didn't make it.
No, listen, they were awesome. And actually, when I didn't really do a CD release, but I did have this huge performance last year, and they both sang with me. And because we have that vocal cohesion, it was such smooth sailing. I didn't really have to do much because they just already know, and it just flows. So that is a blessing, honestly, to just basically be born and have people that automatically know where you're going in the song. You don't really have to do too much, and they just vibe with you perfectly. So
okay. Now, which is the bigger thrill to you, singing your songs or hearing the songs you wrote? Like I know it's kind of weird because you sing the songs you wrote, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I would have to say singing only because I love performing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's probably a great feeling to sing the stuff you wrote and hear it and the people. You probably loving stage.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
You walk off with that same tingle like, ooh.
Yeah. For sure.
What you know about singing? What you know about singing?
I like to listen to people sing.
Oh, you missed it. She sang earlier today.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get a pre-tape.
Oh, yeah. Well, you gotta ask her. You feel like singing again?
Oh, do I feel like singing again?
Yeah. Or you? Huh?
What?
Right, I'm like, it's the guest discretion,
Yeah, okay.
We can get you to sing a quick just TMI. Just sing TMI, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you want...
Oh, wow.
So what you say? Yes?
You want to sing a drop for us?
Yeah, I can sing a drop for y'all. TMI Radio.
Right, cool. Well, let's write some. We got some writers in here.
Oh, what you think?
I mean,
if she do a drop, I want to do a drop, so I record that. Keep it.
Okay. Oh, you don't want to do it? Okay.
Right.
People
it's your show.
No, I'm just saying. Hey.
I was just thinking of this is Avett and y'all are listening to TMI Radio. That's as far as my mind went. I didn't realize y'all were getting ready to do a serious.
I'm sorry. I thought. We thought you were gonna. I was getting ready to get the legend lines out and stuff.
Well, I mean, you about to bring out the bass.
Wow. Yeah. Like no.
I wasn't ready for that.
Nah. I'm sorry. I came in here starting.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
Always starting.
Maybe I can do that and send that to y'all.
See? All right, we didn't even take that. Thank you.
Okay. I will make that. I'll make that happen.
Yeah.
I'll send y'all it.
I'm going to hold you to that.
But not like.
You want me to record what you did and so I can redo it?
Yeah. Can you do that one more time, please?
My voice, I sound horrible. I cannot save my life.
We just want to scratch vocal.
All right.
I'll do that, and we'll send that.
You
to
just want to scratch vocals?
Appreciate
Give us
that.
one more time.
Featuring Cochise and Mike.
Yeah, all right.
All right. I will make it happen.
All right. Thank you. Man, producer left.
Any kind of like growing up, did you enjoy musicals? Because I know, like, I mean, you couldn't watch a lot of stuff, but like listen to music. But could you watch musicals?
Listen. You said I couldn't watch a lot of stuff.
I mean, I listen to a lot of outside of gospel, but musicals is a whole different thing. And I wonder if your parents were like, kind of like, nah.
We honestly did not grow up watching a lot of musicals.
Okay.
That's just not something that we did. Now, we went to a lot of musicals, church musicals, which is pretty much the same thing.
Easter.
Oh yeah.
Every Christmas.
But like the Wiz or something like that.
I've seen the Wiz, but not growing up or anything like that. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, I like musicals, and I don't find a lot of people that do. Especially black males.
No, I like musicals.
That like musicals. Every time I got to ask somebody and hope I have a partner. Like y'all had the WWE thing going on.
Yeah. You solo on that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Smell what the rock is cooking.
Me and Kevin over here looking like I don't know. Y'all have fun with the wrestling thing.
You like wrestling?
See? Yeah, now you're the oddball out now, buddy.
Yeah, you gotta know how to body
Tell me.
slam.
Man, with the wrestling thing. You getting on about the wrestling.
He didn't know.
The clothesline.
Yeah. Rock bottom. Stone Cold Stunner. You don't know nothing about that, buddy.
Nah, he don't smell what's cooking. He don't
smell what's cooking, boy.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't get it.
It's okay. Yeah, that's over my head. I'm lost on that.
I know this probably was asked before I got in, but is there any song that you connect to where you really poured out your emotions into it?
Yeah, for sure. We did talk about that before, and Can't Stand, which is the first song on the album, it's definitely very personal. I mean, the entire album is definitely very personal, but that was personal on a personal note. Mm-hmm. So definitely wrote from the heart with that song, for sure.
And can you tell the people again where to find you if they want to get the album or see your concert dates or anything?
My album is available for download on Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby.
That's a new one. Never heard of that one.
CD Baby?
Yeah.
CD Baby. CD Baby. Like what?
CD Baby. CD Baby.
CD Baby.
CD Baby.
All right.
CDBABY. And then also, if you are a little bit more old school and you would prefer to touch and feel the hard copy, you are more than welcome to go to my website, which is Avett.com. That's KAVETT.com, and purchase it through the website, and I will be glad to send you a personal note.
Okay. You could even get a signed copy. Is that correct?
Yes, a signed copy.
Twitter or Facebook thing?
Definitely on Twitter and on Facebook. And actually, if you go to my website, all of those links to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter are all on my website.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Y'all were a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Thanks for singing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
learned a lot of new things. I had no idea about the stock show.
Oh man.
Learned about Revelation.
Yeah. I learned about CD Baby.
You learned about CD Baby.
Yeah,
well, look,
I got a new one.
But most importantly, we learned about Avett.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Man, y'all go out and get the album.
Yes, please
check
do.
It out. Yeah, I think y'all enjoy it. I know y'all will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, fellas. Well, thank you so much for having me, and we'll have to come back.
Yeah, please do. And here, have you signed the table yet?
I have.
That's all right.
Yeah. All right. Say she a veteran. Say she do this. Yeah.
All right. Well, you have been listening to Immense Music. This has been Cochise. This is Mike.
Mike.
And Avett.
All right.
See you guys next time.